Euro USD opened down lower with the dollar gaining strength over the weekend after the events that took place by the United States attacking Iran. Now, the world braces for Iran's response after the US have strikes and signals a new era. Furthermore, the headlines are that China rips Trump's attack in its first comments since the United States hit Iran. And last of all, the Eurozone private sector is near stagnation on global uncertainty. So I am overall looking for further shorts on the euro and for further strength from the dollar, from, for example, the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen, and gold as long as this uncertainty remains. Good morning, guys. Here it's Fabio, and we're going to be diving into the markets, analyzing the major dollar pairs and, of course, gold. Now, first of all, Euro USD gapped down lower, which should be visible pretty much here on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see here, Sunday at 11 o'clock, we spiked down in towards the downside. We've been retracing since, but overall the market now looks good again as it's trading within this overall, let's say, range. It's at the premium of the range and it's been pushing down lower. So I'll be looking for a further downside push here on Euro USD, despite us overall being bullish. Now, as we can see here, this is your swing low. This over here is your swing high, and here we had a break of structure. Now, after the break of structure, what do you expect? You expect a pullback. Now, when do you expect that pullback to happen? When you get a change of character. Now, obviously, the change of character is here, the current fractal low, but with these fundamentals in favor of the US dollar overall, I am looking at further downside from Euro USD. Now, we do need to understand, however, that this overall daily area of demand for now is in control indeed, with the current fractal low still being respected. So if the overall, let's say, escalation de-escalates and we don't see anything take place in the Middle East anymore, and there are talks of peace, which I highly doubt, because Iran obviously has let's say, spoken out its frustration on the situation and has promised to retaliate, we should still see Euro USD to push down lower. Now, obviously, at this point in time, this is pretty much the demand zone that is preventing Euro USD from pushing down lower. But as soon as that fills, that for me would be the sign that we're ready to head down lower and take out, let's say, these ascending lows that we have positioned over here, despite us being inside an area of daily demand. Now, we've already tapped into that daily demand before. The 4 hour time frame for now grabbed, let's say, liquidity above this high over here. Then we have this buy before the sell supply zone, which liquidated these previous highs. That is now what we're reacting to. So if we indeed break this low here, that is the moment straight away that I want to be in shorts to take out further these ascending lows over here. So I'm favoring some moves in towards the downside. Yes, it might be against the overall market structure, as one, the daily fractal is bullish and we have a daily demand zone over here, and two, the 4 hour fractal structure is still bullish, and we have obviously let's say have this immediate area of demand over here, and we're still in that bullish, let's say, market structure and bullish momentum, with this just being the overall pullback phase. But with the overall news that we have going on, for me it is pretty much a no-brainer that the dollar should gain some strength. But then again, if there is any conversation of de-escalation, the euro against the dollar could push up higher once again. Now, in addition to this, guys, there is some interesting news, because today we will be dropping the fractal indicator. So make sure to join the Discord server or keep an eye on Instagram, link both in the description of this video, and you'll have first access to that fractal indicator, which you can see here on my screen. An amazing indicator which obviously you can fully customize and also add custom alerts to each and every time frame. Now, looking here at the dollar index is still inside an area of daily supply. For me, the real confirmation for upside on the dollar will come once we break the current fractal high. So that's also what I'm waiting for at this point in time. That for me will kind of be the main confirmation that I need in order to look for those longs on Euro USD, and therefore longs or shorts on Euro USD, and therefore longs on the dollar overall. So once this current fractal high breaks, then for me this will become pretty much the area of supply. And then from there will we be looking for those longs, okay? But then again, it will be dependent on what is said in the Middle East, because especially with these market conditions, they're not driven by what, let's say, the technicals say, but mainly by the fundamentals. Now, at this point in time, the 4 hour time frame is just stalling at kind of like a key level of resistance here. So we really need to break above that and get some momentum and see where the market wants to head into this week. But overall, mainly from a daily time frame perspective, I'm just waiting for the current fractal high to break, because once that breaks, then I will have that confirmation that this is then demand and that I can start looking for those longs. So just a little bit of patience until we get the confirmation. Overall, from a weekly perspective, yeah, we've swept the low here. So let's keep an eye on what happens mainly today and where we end the day off. That is mainly going to be what I'm going to be waiting for, because if we see a strong bullish candle close, then for me, okay, that's confirmation, this is demand, and I want to be in some further longs this week on the dollar. But let's say we just fail to close above this current fractal high, then for me that will spark interest. Okay, maybe indeed the dollar is not getting that much strength, and it's not seen that much as a safe haven in these uncertain times. Now going into AUDUSD, the Australian dollar against the US dollar dropped down lower last night as well, and has been doing so ever since I mentioned this overall liquidity high. I hope you guys have been paying attention over the last few weeks, because I said that this was a major high that I wanted to see get taken out. Well, we took that out to the absolute pip, and then we dropped in towards the downside. Ever since, we've been following the order flow down lower. For now, what I'm mainly focusing on here is that this is now this, your imbalance area of supply. This here is the current fractal high, and I'll just be looking for further shorts in towards the downside, as we still have some ascending lows over here, especially as well, to see taken out. From a 4-hour perspective, we can also see that the overall market structure is bearish, so just looking for downside continuation. Just looking for downside continuation with the immediate momentum and with that immediate dollar strength that we've been seeing as well. Looking to pretty much just see AUDUSD retrace all the way back to the beginning of this overall ascending corrective move, unless we obviously break a daily fractal high. That is then the moment that this overall, let's say, short idea would be invalidated. Moving on into GBPUSD, we can see that GU itself has obviously also pushed down lower. Now, what I discussed with you guys last week was obviously that we had this 1, 2, 3 in towards the highs. That for me was the overall sign that we were going to head down lower. Well, we headed down lower, and we headed down to the exact beginning of the overall ascending wedge, which is pretty much the first low that we have over here. That's where then the market pretty much slows down. Now, what I'm looking for on GBPUSD is for it to, again, also push down lower, as the pound is not very strong at the moment. We have weak pound labor market data, so I'm looking for GBPUSD to push down lower, as long, again, as the fractal structure on the daily remains bearish. So for now, the supply zone over here is holding, the current fractal high here is holding, and I'll be looking for the market to continue pushing down lower. And you'll also be able to see here that we were traced into the 0.5 fib. So for me, it makes sense to look for that downside continuation on GBPUSD, at least back down in towards this daily demand zone. And this is obviously over here, pretty much kind of like the Fibonacci that you're looking at. Now you can see that we've already retraced into the 0.5. Again, that 0.5 always provides beautiful reactions, but for now, what I'm more looking at, because despite us retracing in towards, let's say, that 0.5 fib on the daily time frame, if you consider this the low and this the high, then this is 0.5 fib. It would make sense to look for longs, but I'm looking and counting on that dollar strength to push us down lower on GBPUSD. Now, daily supply is in control. Keep an eye on the 4-hour time frame to look for further shorts. Now, the 4-hour fractal is also bearish, so I'll be looking just for that further downside continuation in towards this week. Do keep in mind it could push up higher, but then again, from those higher levels, I'll also be looking and interested in those shorts. Going into NZDUSD, we can see that NU has been pushing down lower aggressively. Well, the supply zone that I drew in on Monday has played out beautifully, or Friday, excuse me. You can see here we tap and we head down lower. So a beautiful short position overall. The daily fractal is bearish at the moment, and the daily supply zone over here is acting as supply to push the market down lower as well. And for me, NZDUSD, the immediate target is kind of like this low over here of 0.58472. To take out all of these ascending lows here. So I'll be looking for further downside, and any pullback is just another opportunity to get in on another potential short, because especially in this market, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar should be weak. So you can expect further downside from both those, and especially if the Strait of Hormuz which is, let's say, an important global oil route. If that were to close, so keep an eye on that as well, then the Australian dollar will dump very, very hard, and as well the euro as well. So that's what I'm looking for in NZDUSD. I hope it's clear. Just looking for further downside and follow the overall order flow. Obviously, kind of like the impulse here on the 4-hour time frame has already happened, so you would need to see a pullback in towards supply before looking for any shorts or something of a pullback before getting in, because I wouldn't just sell over here, right? Now, moving on into USD Swiss, USD Yen, and of course gold. USD Swiss is consolidating. It's not the best pair to trade at the moment because you're trading two strong pairs against each other. Obviously, both the dollar and the Swiss franc are both safe havens, especially in times of war. So you don't really want to be in this pair, hence why the consolidation and not like the steep move like NZDUSD or AUDUSD. Overall, we're inside daily supply. Current fractal high is still bearish. So I am favoring longs soon, but we need to break above the current fractal high and then retrace, and then we look for longs. So that's USD Swiss, USD Yen pushing up higher heavily this week, and we're seeing that further upside push still occur. Main reason because again the dollar is even stronger than the yen now in times of war. So I mean, what can we say? The overall move has now occurred. We were looking at this kind of like range here. I said, again, if we break up this range, we're going to see the impulsive move. Well, you can clearly see that on Friday we broke out in towards the upside with a bullish candle. And now here today on Monday, we're keeping on pushing up higher. We've already today pushed up more than 140 pips. Overall, dollar yen, just let it push up higher. I mean, this overall strong area of support is currently in control, and those shorts shouldn't play out anytime soon until the de-escalation of that war occurs, okay? So that's what I'm looking for on dollar yen. And then gold, because guys, the price action on dollar yen is just very ugly. Gold itself gapped up higher, I think, today indeed. You can see that here on the 1 hour time frame here at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever it is. It gapped up higher, grabbed some liquidity above this high over here, and then it spiked down lower again. Now, some manipulation going on in gold. Keep in mind, gold is obviously bullish in times of war, so I'll be looking for further upside, but the entire world started buying gold, obviously, last night. Hence why I think we're now seeing a lot of manipulation to stop out a lot of those traders who try to get into those early longs. Now, with gold, we're inside daily demand, as this is like your entire daily sell before the buy, this orange zone. We're inside, let's say, the discount prices, and what I'll be looking for is a further upside push back up in towards that blue dotted line. So I'll be looking for longs on gold all week long. And looking here at the 4 hour time frame, we're seeing a lot of manipulation go on. So what I'll be doing is I'll either, again, be waiting for this blue dotted line to break and then look for the longs, or I'll be looking for some clear momentum in towards this morning, because at the moment gold is just manipulating. Yes, we did tap in towards this 1 hour demand zone over here, keep that in mind. So if we break this fractal high, that's the moment already when I'm going to be looking for longs, or I would prefer it to take out these equal lows here, manipulate this overall swing low, and then see like a V-shaped bullish reaction and then get into those longs. So those are kind of like the two long opportunities that I'll be looking for today on gold. So yeah, that's it. Thanks guys for watching. As always, appreciate you and have an amazing day, and keep an eye on the fractal indicator that will be dropping inside Discord and on Instagram. Thanks.